Hey everybody, I'm Coco White and you're watching The Beauty Block.
Welcome back to The Beauty Block, and I'm here today with the beautiful and talented Coco White. Coco is a renowned hairstylist here in Atlanta and nationally. We're excited to have her in-house with us today. Let's get on in and get the questions. But before we do that, please remember to like and subscribe, and please leave your comment in the comment box below. Let's get started. Welcome, Coco. It's a pleasure to have you here on The Beauty Block.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Good. So I just found out that your heritage is Caribbean as well.
Oh, yes.
We're excited to see a fellow Caribbean citizen killing it.
Yes, I had to bring the yachty to the Atlanta.
Amen. So Coco, tell me how you got to Atlanta.
Actually, I drove.
What brought you to Atlanta?
What brought me is actually my kids. They brought me. When I was 17, I came and I had a visit. Me and my mom drove through Atlanta, and it caught my attention, the different types of art and things like that I saw through downtown. So I ended up making a trip back here. In the time that I did, my daughter was 7 years old. She fell in love. And I don't know what it was, but it sparked something to where when I went back, I was raised in Shreveport, Louisiana. So when we went back there, it was just like, it was our mission to come here. It was a mission, and I'm glad we did.
Good.
I am.
Good. So did you start out as a hairstylist?
No, I didn't. Well, back home, I was a hairstylist. Everybody knew me as far as the natural hairstylist. But when I moved to Georgia, no, I started as a makeup artist. I just had to get in where I could fit in. That's basically how it is, because I noticed that with Atlanta, it gives you that drive. It makes you want to go out there. You know, you can't sit at home. Yeah. And see, when you come from a small town is one of those that you can be at the local beauty salon, and everybody knows you, you know, because it's just a tiny town. But here in Atlanta, there's a different ball game. If you want to get known, or if you want to see people to see your work, you really got to get out there.
Absolutely.
And so, and that's what I did.
Absolutely. At what age did you realize that you were in love with hair or beauty?
I fell in love with the whole aspect of beauty was when I was 9. I know it sounds weird, because a lot of hairstylists, they always say they start at a young age, you know. And I saw micro braids for the first time, and that was just very intriguing. Because I didn't know that someone can actually do a style that tiny. And I wanted to figure out how the heck they was gonna get this off. Is they gonna still have hair after this? But I wanted it because it made me look like I had long hair. But unfortunately, my mom didn't make that happen. Okay. So years went. My mom was going to work like at 2 in the morning and things like that, and I started doing her hair then. And then, but what really got my passion in the beauty is when I got my first bald patch. Oh. Yes, my first bald patch. A friend of mine was introducing me to extensions and learning how to use bond glue. And unfortunately, that was the kitchen stitching. So, needless to say, I had to take it out myself. She didn't. And it wasn't good. It was not good at all. So from then on, it was more like I had to learn how to do it myself. And in the aspect of me learning, there was a lot more to it than I expected. So I just said, okay, let me go to beauty school. And that's what I did. 2004, I enrolled in beauty school in 2002. And then I had to come out because of my daughter. I had, daycare issues. When you're trying to do something and go far, there's always obstacles that you got to come across. And that's what I did. I had some obstacles. So 2004 is when I rolled back in, and I just took it from there.
Good. Do you remember your first job as a hairstylist?
Yes, I do. And it was actually at a barber shop. I was the only hairstylist in there, and this man gave me a chance. He actually didn't let me pay rent for the first 6 months. Just to give me a try. He met me at the beauty school. And he was telling me, he's like, okay, I want you to come to my shop. There's a lot of guys, but I want to see if you're able to bring in the females. Because if you bring in the females, then we can bring in their son, and then we can make a duo. Then we have Kids Day and Teen Day and all of that stuff. And I was like, okay, let me see what I can do. And I did. But I brought more of like braids, because it's like that's what I knew. So when I got out of beauty school, it was kind of difficult knowing to jump into the haircuts and the coloring and stuff, because I was still a little fresh with it. So I had to do what I knew, and that was braids.
Awesome. Where do you find your creativity, or what inspires you?
Actually, what inspired me is art. Arts that's on the wall, colors, pictures, and things like that. It's like an abstract to me, and that's actually how I design some of my pieces. Now, with the film, you know, we have like a lot of everyday pieces that just natural pieces where it's just straight or curls or everyday look. But when it comes to like photo shoots or certain glam shoots that I do, yes, that's where I basically get my creation. And I like to do the creation when it's more natural hair than I do a weave.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's intriguing to me.
Oh, good, good. When would you say you're most creative?
What you mean?
Like, so some people get creative when they're really happy, some when they're really sad, when they're going through a breakup. When do you think you create more, or you get that creativity drive?
I get it when they sit in my chair. Like I'm serious. Like if they get in my chair and they sit down, and the first thing they say is, but 9 times out of 10, my clients, they always say, "Be creative, be you." And when I get that, that's on, oh, it's on now. So, you know, that's what I like. But it's my creativity. As soon as they sit in that chair, and then as soon as they get out and that smile on their face, oh my gosh, it's breathtaking.
Awesome. I know you've done quite a bit of production. What are some productions you've worked on?
I've worked on a lot. It's gotten to the point where I lost count, or I stopped counting.
Wow.
But I've done like Olympus Has Fallen, I've done Salem. Those are shows from back home, Pitch Perfect 2, American Horror Stories. I've done here, majority of Tyler Perry Studio work. They're his films, his shows. I've done, I'm on Stars like recently now. I did in season 2 and 3 with Stars. And the list goes on. I mean, it's a lot.
So tell me, what star were you most starstruck by for the first time?
It's crazy because she's big, but people would say like Angela Bassett, or they would say Nicolas Cage, or they would say like the norms that you've seen. And those are, I've worked with them and I've seen them several times, but the main person that I worked with that I got starstruck, and it's crazy because she was on the Tyler Perry Studio, Demetria McKinney. I was just so pleased for the day that she sat in my chair, and I froze. That's the crazy thing, I froze. I just stood there. And normally any talent comes sit in my chair, I'm fine. But this particular lady sat in my chair and I froze. So she turned around and she was like, "Oh, you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "Give me a minute." So I had to go and kind of regroup and then come back.
Nice.
But she ended up landing to be one of my regular clients. So it worked out good too, because it's a certain thing that I do whenever I have my clients to make them feel comfortable. And when I did that, she was like, "Okay, now where's your shop at again?" So I was pleased to know that I had a chance to work with her. And recently, Cicely Tyson.
Love her.
I'm just all in words from her, because that's legendary. And the day that I met her was on her birthday.
Oh, nice.
And so for me to get a chance to bless her with my hands, that was just amazing. Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. But she took my hat, though. Yeah. I'm still out for her. She took my hat, and it was my favorite hat.
Maybe she'll see this and send it back.
No, she's not. No. She told me she loves it, and she's keeping it. So, but as long as she had joy, and it made me feel good about it, you know? So, yeah.
Good. So, Coco, I know you're head of hair at Tyler Perry Studio. Tell us about that job.
Oh, it's fast. It is fast. But it's family. You know, I love working there. Mr. P, he treats everybody like we're a family. He don't treat us like this is just a production. You come, get a check, and you leave. If people are sick, he acknowledges that. If people are grieving, he acknowledges that. If it's certain people that are having problems, and you know, he sees that. And that's what I love about him, because there it's not about just production. It's not about just making a movie. It's not about making a TV show. It's family coming together every year to make something a miracle. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I love working there. I love it. I love it. I wouldn't change nothing.
Good, good. So would you say this is a good time for a young stylist who's thinking about getting in the hairstyling industry to actually go about that?
It's 2019. Anything goes.
Nice.
I don't care if it's 2020, if it's 2021. In the film industry, if you want it, you go get it.
Absolutely.
I tell anybody, speak it into existence. Once you speak your blessings in existence, it does come.
Absolutely.
If I'm a woman that comes from Shreveport, Louisiana, a small town this big, and I've always said, oh, I wanted to work at the Tyler Perry studio. Oh, I've always wanted to be a big celebrity. I don't consider myself as a celebrity hairstylist. I consider myself as an artiste.
Nice.
You see what I'm saying? So for me to come down here and able to still do films and be with big productions like that, that's, you know, that's just everything. But for the newcomers, what I don't like them to be is discouraged. Do not be discouraged. You have to speak it in existence, but what do you want? So many of them that I've talked to have like so many different avenues, and they don't know which direction to go. And I explained to them, when I first started in the film industry, I started on a job that I wasn't making nothing. You know, I had to take some jobs that allowed me to not get paid, to where I couldn't put food in my kids' mouth, you know? But it also gave me an understanding if this is what I wanted. It also gave me training to know my mistakes. So whenever I go to another one, what to expect. Absolutely. You know, so whenever I got into the video industry, and then I got into the music, you know, music industry, commercial and stuff, all of those aspects are different. And it can scare a newcomer that's coming into the industry, or a newcomer that's coming out of school. Yeah. But they have to understand you got to start somewhere. And if you don't start, what happens? Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So tell me about some challenges you faced when you were just coming up as a young artist.
Getting those clients. I'm not a marketing person, so I had to really learn how to the changes, because each year things changes when it comes to the marketing industry. Hairstyle changes. So it's like you can't get settled with one thing. You have to be able to understand all of it. Exactly. Yeah, so as far as like changing, and just recently leadership. Learning how to take control of certain situations, because like in the industry, when you become a head person, it's a whole lot different ball game than you just coming on set and doing here as a day player. So that's one of the challenges that I've been, you know, trying to accomplish. Each year. I'm changing.
Absolutely. So how would you say the hair industry has changed today as opposed to a few years ago?
A whole lot changed. A whole lot has changed. I know that with the hair industry, well, how can I say? Hairstyles, no. Hairstyles revolve. Yeah. It keeps coming back around. It's just people will tweak it in different ways to make it better, or to make it more convenient for a client. Now, as far as marketing strategy, yes, that has changed a whole lot. I remember when we used to take cars and we call it street walking, passing out cars, telling your name, making sure your hair, your makeup is done, and you presenting your own self. Yeah. Now it's gotten to where social media is the platform for you to be able to tell people who you are, what you do, and how you do it. Absolutely. In order for them to be able to come to you, you know? So yeah, that's the biggest change in staying up to date. Mm-hmm.
So what would you say is your signature hairstyle look that most of your clients come to you for?
Well, my shop is a wig shop, but I I don't really have a signature. I'm more of, they know me as as a natural hairstylist. They consider me as a naturalista. So I do locks. I do a lot of locks. I do like lock extensions. I do twist outs, different updo styles with the natural look. So it's not one particular way or one particular style that I like, because like I said, I'm an artist. As cosmetologists, we don't just have one particular look. Now, everyday look, I've seen a lot of people with just straight bobs. That seem like the universal cut and universal look for everybody, but I don't have one of those.
Okay. I like that. So if you were stranded on a island and you had to do hair, what are your 2 tools that you must have?
What are my 2 tools that I must have if I was stranded on an island? That's a good question. Now, what kind of island is this? Do I have to do hair? Because, it's beach water. I don't think
You're on a shoot, you lost everything, you're in the middle of an island, and you only have 2 things that you can take with you.
Oh, I'm going to use some leaves for one, because leaves makes everything pretty. Green is everything. Little twigs here and there may work. Because, twigs, that's like you using sticks. So I can whoop up a hole, strike it out, take some little sand, sparkle it. Oh, we good. We good. Can I go to the water now? That's how I'll be.
Oh, nice. So tell me, what do you think is the main difference between being a freelance makeup artist and working on production?
The hours. Being a freelance, that's a good question. Because to me personally, I feel like they're both the same, because you're working with talents. And with both talents, you have to still treat them both the same. You have to treat them with utmost respect, as well as you take good care of them. If they in front of the camera, or if they in front of the camera for a show, or if they in front of a camera for a shoot. Either way, you have to pay attention to them. So I don't feel like it's a difference. The only thing is, like, some shoots you may go for 8 hours to 10 hours, get one flat rate, and you're done. But movies, no, you can go between 12 to 14 to 24 hours. That's a big difference. So yeah, that's the only thing I can feel like would be. But as far as personality, you have to keep it 100 all the way.
Absolutely. Why do people prefer wigs on set these days?
Universal. It's very universal. You can change. It's a lot of natural hairstylists, natural people that's out there, but they don't want to do much to their hair. Yeah. So if you have a job that you have to change your look all the time, you got to be blonde 1 minute, or you got to have a short look 1 minute, it's universal. You pop it off, I can style it while you go and do what you got to do, come back, let's pop this back on, let's go on set. It's easy, and then it will cut down time.
What are some of the biggest misconceptions you think young hairstylists have when they're trying to get a job on set?
I know one thing, they don't know about the hours. Because I've gave a couple of people chances to try to figure, if they want to see if the film industry, and the first thing they do before 2 hours even gone, and what time are we leaving? Yeah. They do not know about timing. And as far as set etiquette, that's something that a lot of them have to learn, is set etiquette. It's totally different from being in the shop. In the shop, people are loud. Some people, their personality is a lot different. But on set, set etiquette is one. They don't know about the long hours, so I'll come across where people fall asleep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that's not good.
You can't do that.
Yeah. Or their phone become a hazard, because they constantly on their phone, or they so much on social media or texting and calling, because that's their norm. That's what they used to. That's what they want to do. And when you're in the shop, you can do that. Yeah. In between clients, you can sit down and you do all of that. But when you're on set, you have to pay attention. Yeah.
Absolutely. How long does a talent usually sit in your chair if you're putting on a full wig per se?
It all depends on the timing, as far as like what's going on. If they are a person that's going on first, I'll have the wig prep and then tell them to go to makeup. Okay. So if they are someone that has long hair, I may take about 10, 15 minutes, braid their hair down, have it prepped, ready, and all I have to do is pop it on. So I'll send them to makeup to get majority of that time to them, which is between 35 to 40 minutes, depending on the look they're looking for. And then when they come back, give me about 10, 15 minutes, we rocking and rolling. And that's the convenience, because if I have it while you getting your makeup done, I can prep it, style it, do all the tweakings. If I need to adjust anything, all that is in my timing of my 25 to 30 minutes. And once you get in my chair, yep, I'm done. Okay. Pop them little bobby pins in place and we go.
All right, so what is last look?
Last look? That's Soretta. Last look is where whenever the director has all the cameras in place, when you have everything is set and ready, they'll ask us to come in and do the last look, which is the last touches, the last tweaking, to make sure that the look is presentable for the camera, as well as what the director's looking for. And sometimes you can see with it being high def, you can see a whole lot of little pieces. So they'll let us come in, do that last look, and then we out.
Okay. Awesome. So I know you work with quite a few. What are some of your favorite brands and why?
Due to the fact that I have different variety of hair textures, there's not a particular favorite brand. So if a person tells you that they have a particular favorite brand, that means they only deal with one type of hair. I deal with Caucasian, I deal with natural hair, I deal with people with relaxed hair. So I have each texture has a different product that I use. For my natural hair people, I love I Am. I love their product. I love Moroccan Oil for our natural hair people. I love Curl Diva. It's what gives them moisture. And then when you have the ladies with the wigs, I have certain products that I like to have proper care for that one. And then so it's really hard to say what product you like, because in the hairstyle industry, there's not one product that can go for all of them. Unless you're trying to put oil in their hair.
Are there any styles you see emerging that you think you love or don't love in terms of hair?
Let me see.
Short bobs.
I like those. Let me see. As long as the mullet don't come back, I'm good. I don't know. I don't know, because Mr. Perry had this show come just recently we just did called Nobody Fool, and he bust out saying that I want a Jerry Curl mullet. Whoa, wait, what? I was like, you want what, Mr. P? I want a Jerry Curl mullet on and the person we did it on was Chris Rock.
Wow.
So we had to do a Jerry Curl mullet. So here it is now. Jerry Curl hasn't been in stock and been around for a minute, and then you have a mullet. So here it is. I had to find a wig. To really customize it to make it look Jerry Curl looking, and then the drip Jerry Curl, not just the dry one, the drip one. You know which one I'm talking about. And then turn around, cut it in a mullet. I was like, ooh, who does this?
Mr. Perry, apparently.
Yeah. And ever since then, he liked the Jerry Curl look, because we end up doing that on another character for a movie that's coming out. And it's the Jerry Curl, like really dripping. I was like, real, please don't come back. Please. That's just a lot of maintenance.
A lot. My grandma used to do that.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, and you smell activator everywhere. Everywhere.
So I know you're into yoga a lot. How did that come about?
It's crazy because I'm not able to talk about it. I'm going through a divorce. So at the time that I was going through my separation, I had to find something to channel my anger, channel my emotions and things like that, so I wouldn't have to bring it to set, because nobody needs to have that around them. That energy is not a good energy. So at the time, it's crazy, I was 205 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like I said, when I just started off doing stretching. But then I started doing research. And then the research turned into something that was really intriguing to me. And I liked the fact that how it made me feel. But once I finished, I was too tired to remember what I was arguing about with the divorce, So it just took over into a lifestyle. So as I grew with yoga, I noticed that I started losing weight when people started telling me, your face is getting smaller, Coco. I was like, oh, it is. And then that's when I really took it into a little bit more and started just teaching myself more into it. So now I noticed that I've been targeting a lot of people, a lot of females that like it and want to know how to get into it. So I'm working up that now.
Good. Do you have a yoga studio?
No, I don't. I don't. Actually, that's why I said I'm working on that part. I have a studio. It's a salon that me and my daughter own, but it's a two-part salon. So the other side is the side that we usually have classes and things like that people will rent out for classes. And I'm thinking of doing a yoga, like not so much of yoga, it's more of coming back in tune with yourself.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I noticed that ladies are having problems with, is coming back in tune with yourself, understanding your femininity, you know? And that was what I had the problem from.
Yeah.
So it's like, once we understand us, everything else will come in order.
I love
you know?
that. I love that. What does the next 5 years look like for you?
Wouldn't you like to know? I'm one of those that I like to show.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of things in store. Like I said, me and my daughter own a salon. It's called the 4 Elements. We revolve a lot about crystals and stones and good energy. So it's like whenever you come to our salon, it's nothing but positive energy. And you feel it when you come in, because I have stones around. And it just makes people at peace where they can sleep. You know, I get a lot of people that sleeps in my chair.
Yeah.
And just imagine me trying to curl upside down. It's not good. But I like them to understand when they come there, that is what you need to be at peace of mind. Yeah. And when you leave, you should feel rejuvenated, you know? So we're working into some stuff in the making, and hopefully I have a PR. A PR that's working with me, and hopefully I can get some stuff launched out.
So if you could go back to your 20-year-old self.
What you mean?
Your 16-year-old self.
Okay, because I am 20.
Yeah. What do you tell her?
Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah.
Because at that age, it was a lot. I'm gonna go back to the 20s. Yeah. I'm gonna go back to the 20s because 16, I was cutting up. If I said that back then, girl, stop doing that. That's what I would have said at 16. But at 20, I would have said keep going. I had a lot going on, you know, had a child, and then losing a child in that process. A lot of stuff that people go through with losing your place, trying to go between jobs, and trying to figure yourself out. And in that moment, especially at 22, then turn around and had another child, you know, I would tell myself, keep going, because you go through struggles, you're going to go through stuff in order for you to get where you at. Use your surroundings, use your how can you say it? Use your what's going on in your situation
as your source to continue on,
as your fuel.
Yeah.
You know, like I tell people now, it's not motivation no more. When you say motivation, it's because you trying. Say that you are determined. Yeah. Be determined now. When you're determined, you're gonna do it. Yeah. And back then, I should have. It's more like now. Just say, keep going. You are determined.
Okay. I love that.
Thank you.
So, Miss Coco, what are 2 things most people that don't know you don't know about you?
I like to dance. Well, no, people know that. I don't know. I guess I'm an open book. I mean, I love dance. Everybody knows that. I revolve myself around my kids. Everybody knows that.
And you have 2 kids?
Yes.
What are their names?
I have Alicia Miller, where she goes by Lala. That's my 20-year-old. That's my big baby. But she's in the industry too. She does hair, she does makeup. She pretty much do a lot of stuff. And then I have my son, Dominique Miller. He goes by DJ. That's my future model, I guess, if you want to say that. He wants to be in modeling, and I'm going to make sure he gets there.
There you go.
But he does barbering too. So, you know, I kind of keep the legacy in the family. And it's more like I don't push them. They tell me what they want. And so when my son came to me and said, "Mom, I want to be part of the family. I want to be that legacy." All right, what you want to do? Let's do barbering.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Coco.
Thank
This
you,
was a
thank you,
pleasure.
thank you.
That beautiful smile lights up the room.
Thank you.
And we are excited and look forward to what you're going to do in the next 5 years. I will be definitely watching.
Oh, I'll be watching you too. I'll be back over here.
Thank you.